Everybody, I just wanted to make a short video about this long COVID situation that everybody's going on about. I'm sorry, it is a fraudulent title actually, long COVID, because actually post-viral syndrome is a well-established medical condition, okay? SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, has been around for a very long time. Was it 1999? It's almost 2 decades, at least, anyway, that SARS has been around. And one of the symptoms of SARS is chronic fatigue, okay? Chronic fatigue, now known as post-viral syndrome. This is from December 14th, 2009. Why was nobody talking about post-viral syndrome, about the dangers of SARS, okay? And here the article goes into detail about it, which I will leave the link to this article under this video. And here we can see this is from the SARS survivors, okay? So long COVID, what is that about? What is it about? Now, I've been accused of being disrespectful to long COVID sufferers by comparing them with people who are suffering from post-viral syndrome, okay? But actually, no, that is the other way around, okay? That long COVID is suddenly given high priority and mass major public sympathy, but post-viral syndrome, well, is that somehow a lesser illness now? Are they two separate illnesses now? You know, post-viral syndrome for regular flu or ordinary SARS, which, by the way, I do ask people, go and look at the symptoms of SARS and compare them to COVID-19. I tell you, they are identical. They are identical. The only difference being, I think, is that COVID-19 seems to be less of a risk than SARS-1, in the sense of, you know, children are at a very, very low risk. I've been reading on my Twitter about people saying this government should be impeached for not forcing vaccinating all children, okay? When children are at a very, very, very high minimum risk of the worst impacts of COVID. And actually, in comparison, the risks posed by the experimental gene therapies, because that's what it is, okay? Nanotech gene therapies masquerading as a vaccine, actually an injection. They are at higher risk from adverse events of those. This is a medical fact. This is a medical fact. You can't keep burying your head in the sand, people. You can't keep ignoring the facts about SARS, that SARS has been around for a long time. But nobody's heard of post-viral syndrome until now. Until now, suddenly, it's long COVID. We got Chris Whitty bandied about all over Twitter today, going on about, you know, after lockdown, you know, people still have to wear masks and there's the new variant. Well, why is it that the posh knobs sitting around at Wimbledon aren't concerned about the new variant? Okay, why aren't they wearing masks? Why are they allowed to sit together in their hundreds and thousands and all congregate together like they've done recently at Ascot, not a blooming mask in sight? But then we've got Chris Whitty going on about how dangerous this new Delta variant is. Well, if the new Delta variant really was that dangerous, then surely the richest people in Britain wouldn't all be hobnobbing together, maskless, at Wimbledon and Ascot. You know, are the people of Britain incapable of just blatantly seeing what is staring us in the face? You know, are we cattle? Are we cattle? Because a lot of this stuff that is being rolled out on us now, role of biometric identification in cattle management, there you go. I'll leave you the links, look through it. It's all about basically what they want to do to us is stuff, technology that they plan to use for cattle, right? It was all developed for cattle. Facial recognition, knowing even when the cow's menstrual cycle is about to start, and just everything, right? If they get ill, if they get a temperature, and now they want to do that to us. You know, this mantra, okay, if you go click on that, you end up here, and here we go, you know, basically identity, innovation, security, biometric scanners, transferring it from cattle onto people. So are we cattle, basically, is the question, isn't it? Obviously, we are cattle, aren't we? Because all this technology. Look, this is supposed to be for people, okay? People. Now, being treated exactly like cattle. The same technology they use to manage and control their cattle being used now to control and manage people. You know, they've been planning all this stuff for years. They've been planning it for years. So, you know, what can I say? It's up to you people. But I do believe that when you look at the medical facts, and you know the medical facts of SARS and even MERS, and you look at the symptoms of SARS and the symptoms of MERS, which are virtually identical to the symptoms of COVID-19. Okay? And even the chronic fatigue, the long-term chronic fatigue, which has already been known, is a known fact. And now it's suddenly called long COVID. And where does that leave the people who are suffering post-viral syndrome, chronic fatigue then, from other illnesses, from other viral illnesses? As if, what, one is worse than the other? They're exactly the same. They are the same, identical. When you read through this. But where was the treatment? Where was the help for all the people in Britain over the years who suffered from SARS, who weren't even diagnosed because this country was keeping it all quiet? But suddenly when the elite want a pandemic to help them along with their great reset and, you know, turning us all into cattle and experimenting on us all, you know, using COVID to give them a chance to perform some giant, horrible experiments on us. Oh, suddenly. Yeah. Please, wake up, people. I mean, I suppose this video, YouTube will try to ban it, but, you know, what can I say? Download it somewhere else, share it somewhere else. But we do have to stand up and really challenge what is going on, because I feel it's just getting more and more nefarious by the day, because the levels of fraud and deception, they really are despicable, and we do need to be alert to them and to be asking ourselves why are they doing this? Why? What is the objective? What is the motive here? And certainly when they're coming after our children, that is when we do really need to stand up and ask some very, very serious questions, because they are our future. They are the next generation. And we, as adults, have a duty and a right to protect them and defend them, and to seriously ask some questions on their behalf, and to examine all the evidence and all the facts when it comes to, you know, tampering with our children's health on the pretext of what? Explosive and xenophobic, it appears, narratives.